First one, I'm going to add 6 to both sides of the equation. So therefore 2x must equal 20 and x equals 10. And I'll go to question B. I'm going to subtract 4 from the left and subtract 4 from the right. That gives 21 on the right, and it gives x over 3 on the left. And then I have to multiply both sides by 3, 63. Take away 1 from both sides. Okay, in fact, I'll do it the way that explained on conference. I'll turn it around so it reads minus 4x plus 1. And then I'll take away 1 from both sides. 64 equals minus 4x. And divide both sides by minus 4. Have I done that right? Yeah. 40, 15, 16. And so I'm going to have minus 16 on the left and x on the right. You would turn it around and write the answer as x equals minus 16. Letter D. To undo the divide by 5, I multiply both sides by 5. So the left now reads 4x minus 10, and the right equals 90. Add 10, both sides. 4x must equal 100. X must equal 25, because the next step would be to divide by 4, both sides. Letter E. This is where I have x's on both sides, collect them together on one side, so I will take away 3x from both sides. Not to say I couldn't have taken 5x from both sides, that would still work. On the left, I'm left with 3. On the right, I'm left with 2x minus 27. Then I'm going to add 27 to both sides. I'm left with 30 on the left and 2x on the right. Divide by 2 both sides. I'm left with x equals 15. Letter F. You could multiply the bracket out. That would work. But you could also just divide both sides by minus 5. Divide both sides by minus 5. The left just is left with 2x plus 9, and the right will equal minus x. See, plus 5 divided by minus 5 is just minus 1, and you call that minus x, or you don't have to have the 1 written. I've still got x's on both sides here, minus 1 on the right and 2 on the left. There's more on the left, so I'll collect them on the left, not on the right. So on the left now I've got 3. On the right, plus 1 minus 1 is 0. I'll now take away 9 from both sides. And 3x must equal minus 9. I'll divide by 3 both sides. And x must equal minus 3. Letter G. I can see there's some x's in 2 places, so the first thing I'm going to do is try and collect them together. So I'll take that 5 and I'll multiply out the brackets. 5 times x and 5 times 8. I've still got a 2, I've still got a 4x. I now have 9x on the left. 5 apes plus 4 apes is 9 apes. I've got a plus 2 minus 40, which I did this one yesterday, didn't I? Plus 2 minus 40 is minus 38 equals 43. Add 38 to both sides. Comes to 81. Divide by 9 both sides. 9 nines are 81. Last one of these sort, this type of question. Multiply both sides by 3 to undo the division. Left-hand side is like this, 3/7x minus 8. Right-hand side is like this, 4x plus 10. You now have to get rid of the bracket by multiplying out by 3. Left-hand side stays the same, so right-hand side stays the same. Now I've got x's on both sides, so I'll collect those guys together by taking 4 away from the left and 4 away from the right. That leaves me with 17x minus 24 must equal 10. Add 24 to both sides. Right, adding 24 to both sides, and then divided by 17 both sides, and x is 2. X cubed times x4. I don't try and remember whether I add or multiply the 3 and the 4, but I do remember that x cubed is 3 of them multiplied together and x4 is 4 of them multiplied together, and everywhere there's a multiplication happening. Therefore I know the answer is x7. There are 7 x's getting multiplied together. In a similar fashion for letter B, I realize that there is x7 multiplied by x7 multiplied by x7 multiplied by x7 multiplied by x7. And then it looks much the same as question A. And you're adding all those powers together to get x35. So that's that one. Letter C, there are 14, and I won't be able to draw them all up here. There are 14 x's up the top. There are 7 on the bottom. 4, 5, 6, 7. One of them can cancel with one of them. One of them cancels with one of them. One of them cancels with one of them. One of them cancels with one of them. And so on, until you're left with 7 on the top. And the answer is x7. Letter D, it's very similar to letter D, but letter C, but there's a few more numbers to do. There are 9 x's and 4 y's. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 4 y's. And don't forget the 27. 3 x's, 10 y's. Okay, I can't fit all the y's in, but I can see that 1 can cancel with 1, 1 can cancel with 1, 1 can cancel with 1. And on the top of this fraction is going to be 6 x's left. on the bottom of the fraction, if I cancelled 1y with 1, 1y with 1, 1y with 1, we're going to be left with 6 y's, I think. Yep. 6 y's. If you do a subtraction, 10 minus 4. And the 27 over 3 can simplify to 9 over 1. And you don't often write 1, so you just write 9. You could write a 1 there, but it's a silent 1. So the answer is 9x6 over y6. Can I just point out one thing to you? If there was a plus up here, see I've just put a plus in, the whole thing falls over and you can't do any simplification. Okay? And the reason for that is because essentially the top line is in brackets before you can do the division, and everything has to multiply before you can do the crossing out. I don't think you'll see one like that, but okay. Here's one we can all do. It's multiplication and addition. You have to multiply 3 times minus 2 times 4. See how I did that? M times N times P. 3 times 2, or 3 times minus 2 is minus 6, times 4 is 24, or minus 24. B, you have to take M, which is 3, and then N, which is minus 2, and square it. If you take a minus and square it, you ignore the minus, and it's just positive 4. And 4 times 3, 12. Letter C. Oh, I need to know what the M's in the M, 3, P, 4, minus the N, which is minus 2, close bracket. Do what's inside the brackets first. 2 times 4 is 8. Minus is plus. So it's 8 plus 2. So it's 10 times 3. 30. Letter D. P is 4. N squared is going to become 4. Divided by N times M times minus 2. Do the top line first. (8 over minus 6), which can simplify down to 4 over 3. It's a minus. Notice that the minus can go with the 4 or with the 3. The convention is actually to put it with the 4. Or you could put it out the front like that, 4 over 3. Question 4. Factorize, but 1 minute ago. So just repeating for the video's sake, I found factors of 5x and 5y. The common factor was 5, so I took 5 outside the bracket. I found factors of 4x squared and 12xy. The common factors were 4x, so I took them outside the bracket and thought to myself, what do I multiply by to get the 4x squared, and what do I need to multiply by to get the minus 12xy? Okay, back to letter C. It is a quadratic, so it's going to have pairs of brackets, and either I'm going to choose 6 and 1 or 2 and 3. One of the pairs has a difference of minus 1, and the only one that does that is 2 and 3. And because it's minus 6, it's either minus 2 and positive 3 or positive 2 and minus 3. But when I add these two numbers together, I should end up with negative 1, given that there's a negative 1 in front of the x. And so therefore, it's this one here, plus 2 minus 3. Equally true is if I wrote it this way round, that is equally true. Let's do the next one. Letter D. Again, hey,